Let's see if that's working. There we go. Okay. All right. Hello! Welcome to the bar. It looks like it's Patty here already. Maybe some other folks. It doesn't tell me who's here, so feel free to say hello in the chat. It's always nice to know who's a watching. But yeah, welcome. Thank you all for joining. Today we're playing with fire again, as you can see, still in the elemental plane of fire. So once we get started, feel free to, and even now, feel free to toss in the chat any bad ideas for ways I should incorporate that. I am, of course, going to set the drink on fire at some point in its process, and I do have some hot sauce again in case, so we'll see. But yeah. And it's 6 o'clock, so welcome everyone to my bar. My name is Ansel Birch, the Indecisionist, and I will be your dungeon barkeep today. Now, I'm no expert mixologist. Heck, my bar has been magically transported, that's the word I wanted, magically transported into the elemental plane of fire. So clearly I have no idea what I'm doing, and all of my mix cocktail lists have gone up in the flames. So we're gonna have to make it up as we go along. But luckily, I've got a set of gaming dice and an adventurous spirit. And with those two things together, I think we may be able to make a really good cocktail today. We could also end up making a really awful cocktail today. Who's to say? Time travelers, probably. Show yourself, chat ghosts! Yes. Announce yourselves. Tell me where you're coming from. Tell me what you want me to do. You're dancing monkey. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest here. I'm here to have fun, you're here to have fun, and it's gonna be fire today, which everybody loves. So, welcome. This is gonna be a good time. Whatever else is going on in your day today, and I know there are a lot of things going on in a lot of people's days today, let's just take a deep breath and set some booze on fire. So, the first thing we have to do is roll our first die. So we're going to start with a D4, and that is the little pyramid guy, and that's going to decide our mixer. This is going to be a key mixer, that's why it's the D4, so one of these 4 gets in there. So here's our dice cam. That's a 2 and a 2 on the mixer chart, and you'll notice I've added a dice cam to the dice cam view to the lists, so that in case I forget to switch back and forth, now you can see them all the time. Yay! I hope that you like that. So that's a 2. Oh, but I, of course, picked the wrong mixer chart. There we go, the essentials chart. That's going to be grenadine. And actually, I've got something new today that I want to try. Instead of grenadine, which is, you know, pomegranate juice and whatever makes it grenadine, sugar syrup and what have you, I've got some pomegranate syrup that is straight up pomegranate syrup, and I'm thinking this might be a little bit more pomegranate-y. Some friends recommended it, and so here it is. So let's, man, day 1, and the dice have provided. So that's going to be our first one. Next will be a garnish. So we'll switch back over to camera B for the D6 to determine our garnish. Let's see, that's a 5 on the garnish chart. 5 gives us a sugar rim. All right, we haven't done a sugar rim in a while. That's going to be exciting. Man, what kind of glass do I want to do a sugared rim on? Okay, we'll find out. Let's see how the rest of this thing comes together. Oh, is everything working? Yes, okay, all right. So, sugared rim is going to be our next thing, followed by a D8. So we'll switch back over to camera B for a D8. There we go. That's a 6 on the mixer's chart. 6 on the mixer's chart is soda water, because of course it is. I actually just ran out of soda water today. Didn't realize it until too late. So I'm going to roll that again, because that's how I roll. when I want to. I'm in charge. This is my show. Ha 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 ha. All right, so Coke and grenadine. All right. All right, this is going to be sweet. This is going to be sweet. Next up is a D10. The D10 is going to pick our liquor for us. So here we go. And that is a 8. An 8 on the liquors chart is coffee liqueur. Okay. Okay. This is going to be delicious. Very dark, very sweet and complex, I imagine. Unless it's just sweet and you can't taste anything for the rest of the week, which is also possible. Yeah, so we'll see. Next up, these next two, you're not going to have the dice cam on the list, but, you know, that's just because there are so many things. So here's a D12. That's a 1 for bar terms. A chaser. Chaser is exactly what it sounds like. It's going to be a little shot of something to follow this cocktail, with the idea being that it will offset or balance or complement the cocktail. So what I'm going to do is have you in the chat decide what chaser should go with this cocktail, and I'll pour that out on the side, and we'll see these two together in their full glory. So debate amongst yourselves, and by amongst yourselves, I mean probably just Patty Smith based on the chat I'm seeing so far. Let me know what should go with our cocktail so far. Or, well, yeah, our cocktail. It is grenadine, Coke, coffee liqueur, and served in a sugared rim glass. Yeah. The only thing left to do is decide what to call this thing. This strange, delicious, dark monstrosity. So that takes us to our final roll. This is going to be the start of the show. Of course, a D20, which gives us a 10. A 10 on the names chart, which is populated fresh every single week. If you would like to submit a name to go onto the names chart, you can find a form on my website, indecisionist.com/dungeonbarkeep, and that's where you can put in fresh names that you want to suggest. They'll go into the hopper, and I get 20 randomly pulled from that list every week. Today, as I said, we got a 10. A 10 on today's name chart is tragedy in 3 parts. And conveniently, there are 3 ingredients in front of me right now. So that worked really well. Yeah, that worked out really well. Cool. All right, so I think that's all the preamble. It's time for us to go ahead and make this drink. Let's hop over to the bar top cam. All right, so we got our ingredients over here. The first thing I'm going to do is sugar my rim because I always forget to do that. And today I am going to pull out the plate that I now use for sugaring. Ooh, look, I've got a special plate for this. I've been using it for storing all of my citrus, so just have to move all the citrus out of the way. It's been so long since I sugared a rim. Okay, so this plate is going to get all of our sugar. Based upon what we've had so far, I'm going to go for this pink sugar, or I guess green sugar. I don't see color super well. So yeah, so we're going to sugar the rim first. There we go. Just spread that out a bit. There we are. Get rid of that. Let's see. We're doing something dark here. Let's go a little bit fancy. I'm gonna use this slightly fancier wine style glass. And just for the sake of getting the stuff onto the rim, I am going to slice into this lemon that I've got on hand because I always have too many lemons. You can either buy too many lemons or not enough lemons. That's my experience. Okay, so we're going to sugar that rim. All right, so there we go. That's pretty. That turned out well. All right, so we'll set that glass off to the side. It is ready to go. This can all go over here. Out of the way. I'm going to use a mixing tin today. I don't think we need to shake this. There's really no reason to shake this. So this is just going to be to chill it down a little bit. So I'm going to put a few d6 of cold damage in there. We're going to pop the top on this pomegranate juice, which I bet has a safety seal. Yep. All right. So here we go. Maiden voyage of the pomegranate syrup. Sambuca. Oh, man. All right. Well, we'll see how that goes. All right. No pressure. If you don't come up with anything, I will absolutely figure it out for my own dang self, since it's my job and not yours. All right. So we're doing 1 ounce of the pomegranate syrup. So smooth. That was a satisfying pour. Oh, I should switch these so that you can see everything. Here we go. There we go. Gonna figure out the whole new situation here. All right, so that's that. Now coffee liqueur, just gonna be the star of this show. Gonna get 2 ounces of that in there. As you can see, I'm a big fan of this coffee liqueur because it's almost out. Got a fresh one in reserve. That's how much I like it. Usually I don't plan that far ahead. All right. And then I'll go ahead and put the Coke in ahead of time. We're going to do, I don't usually measure my toppers, but we'll do, you know, as close to 4 ounces as I can manage with the carbonation. So that's, there we go. Okay. So the pomegranate syrup is effectively grenadine. It's just going to be a little bit more true to the pomegranate. Grenadine apparently has some other stuff going on, which part of this is I want to test if I can tell the difference. All right, so giving it a little stir there. That's all mixed up. All right, so we've got our prepared glass, Hawthorne strainer. Drop that in there. All right. That's absolutely true. The caffeine load on this is going to be truly something to be concerned about. All right, so there we are. This is the tragedy in 3 parts. It was 3 parts, which is helpful. 1 and 2 and 4, so it's a Fibonacci sequence cocktail. That's exciting. All right, so the last thing we got to figure out is what's going to go with it. It looks like there weren't any good ideas in the chat, so I like the idea of some rum, Psycho Pyro. So let's make a chaser with a little bit of rum, and let's see, what else do we want to put in to make that special? We need something to cut a little bit of that sweetness. So, oh, I've got that lemon. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and pull out this a fresh mixing tin. No, this is the only, yeah. All right, so we're gonna do a cobbler mixing tin on this one, and this will be the thing I set on fire because that's convenient. So here we go, and an empty mixing tin, a few d6 of cold damage. There we go. I have 2-ounce shot glasses, so I'm gonna aim for the wash line on that with 1 ounce of spiced rum. And 1 ounce of this mixed citrus punch that I've got on hand. Now this is, yep, well, that's not helpful. It's just a label. This is equal parts orange juice and lemon juice. I squeezed these from the citrus that were going to go bad last week. And just a hint of lime. So it was like 10 limes, 10 oranges, a roughly equal amount of lemon juice, and then 2 limes. So the lime is very poorly represented. That's the word I wanted. All right. So we're gonna do that. All right. So we've got this mixed citrus juice. I imagine you could just use lemon and orange, or whatever you've got on hand to make this. And we'll shake this. Let me know how you liked that little picture-in-picture thing. I don't know if that scratches the same itch, but it was worth a shot. All right, so here we go. And first, I am going to put a little gnomish fire on here. Just get a little bit. The beauty of the gnomish fire is just a dab will do ya. All right. You think it's neat, Psycho Pyro? I'm glad. I'm glad to hear it. All right. All right. All right. So we've got our flaming shot. Get all this stuff out of the way so you get a good picture of it. Here we go. Here's our drink. Here's our fire. All right, so here we are. This is a tragedy in 3 parts with a chaser. Let's name the chaser while this flames. A chaser, the side of Char, Isma. There you go. All right, so let's switch back up to the main camera and do some tasting. Yeah, you like the picture-in-picture? Yeah, usually I switched back and forth to do the shaking, and that was kind of clunky. All right, so here we go. Yeah, as I suspected, if you like a sweet drink, this is great. This has got, like, think of like a sweet Merlot. It's in that classification of flavors. It's a lot of deep flavors. The pomegranate gives you that, like, fruitiness. The Coke gives you that dark cola flavor. The coffee liqueur is really bringing a lot to the table. And I know normally I don't do labels on this channel, but I really do love this coffee liqueur from Mr. Black. It's spectacular. It's a cold brew coffee liqueur, so they're really putting emphasis into the coffee part, which is super nice. And that really cuts through. I suspect that like Kahlua or something else would do fine, but this is really, it's the only one that I think would be able to compete with all the other flavors going on here. Yeah, that's fabulous. I rimmed it with sugar. It's just a green sugar. It's got like a light liminess to it, but very, very vaguely. Very, very vaguely. Yeah, that's fabulous. If you're looking for something dark and flavorful and rich and sweet, this is your stuff. All right, so now to try the chaser. Once again, this is side of Char Isma. So this is a flamed sugar cube topped with spiced rum and mixed citrus. It's still going to be really sweet, but it should be offset by the citrus, which will make it a nice pairing for the sort of heavy flavors of the main drink. Oh yeah, that turned out really well. It's like a limeade or like a lemony orangey aid. Lemonade but complicated? I don't know. You can't really taste that it was on fire, which is interesting. I would have expected that to inform it at least a little bit. All right. All right. I think if I were doing that again for presentation at a bar, I'd probably break up the sugar and then flame it so that it would get a little bit more caramelized, and I'd probably let it burn just a little bit longer, again, to get that caramelization flavor in there. But too much longer and you run the risk of cracking the glass and creating like an actual caramel in the bottom of the glass, and that's no good. So that's, do that at your own risk. Don't try that at home. I know I am, but you shouldn't. But yeah, there we have it. These two drinks went really well together. I wouldn't say it's a natural pairing, but it's a pairing that does work. Yeah, all things considered, a tragedy in 3 parts and the side of Charisma. They've got my seal of approval. And Patty says I should be buzzing around my dungeon like a fly against the window soon. That's absolutely true. I'm running a D&D game right after this, and my players are, they'll be able to tell, that's for darn sure. Oh no, buffering! Let me know if you need me to repeat anything. So, all that being said, adventurous drinkers, thank you so much for joining me once again here at my bar. I hope you had a great time. I know I certainly did. Please, I'm just going to put some fire in frame here for the sake of it. Please be kind to each other out there in the world today. It's been a really weird week for a lot of different things, and all we got is us. So it doesn't do to cause anybody else stress about stuff that they can't control. Now, that said, the people who can control it, stick it to those people. I think that's a good out. I don't have anything else to say. There are things coming up this week that you should check out. Links in the doobly-doo, along with stuff at the end of the month, including Starlight Radio Dreams and the next TTRPG Pickup Con, along with the TTRPG Pickup Con Game Runners Expo, which is this weekend. It's a chance to watch some of our game runners play a world-building game together. It's a wonderful opportunity to meet some of the game runners that you could play with. So, if you value the opportunity to get an idea of what people play like, that's a time to do that. But until next week, drink adventurously.